Hi guys, today we're doing our first feature of 20 businesses in 20 weeks, and we're starting with a local business, LMA Studios. Let's go inside and find out what they're about. Hi.
Hello.
Hi Lucy.
How are you?
How are you?
Good.
You okay?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
I thought you were going for the fist bump.
We'll do that. We can do a fist bump. Yeah. We're here today, to find out a bit more about LMA.
Yeah, fab. So we are on Chestnut High Street. We've been in the studio now for just over 2 years, but
2 years.
we've been running since December 2017.
Okay.
So I was 20.
20?
Yeah.
Okay.
And wanted to open just a couple of classes. So hired the church hall just down the road.
Okay.
Just on a Friday afternoon, we did 4 classes. I've blinked and here we are 8 years later we run over 35 classes a week.
So when you were doing going from your sort of church hall days, how many people were there?
I started off with 4.
Four children, yeah?
4 children.
Okay.
Obviously, because we started in 2017, I was working for other people at the time, other dance schools within Hertfordshire. I thought, I want to keep it really small, like it would just be a little fun kind of thing on the side. Truthfully, I think I was just scared of trying and failing. But yes, there were 4 that turned up on my first day. And we grew up to around 50, 60 students before COVID hit. And it was after COVID where we kind of started to boom a little bit more. We then started using the Scout Hut on Saturdays to expand our classes. And we were running 4 times a week by then. Okay. And then I saw this place come up and I thought, do you know what, I need to try.
So business owner to business owner.
Yeah.
It's a big change, right? From a church hall to a Scout Hut to a double fronted shop here.
Yeah, it was.
Was it scary at all?
Yeah, it still is. It still is. No, it was as well. I'd been self-employed from the age of 18, just kind of, going around having fun, teaching. I saw myself as a dance teacher. I didn't really see myself as a business owner. I'd won a couple of business awards before getting the studio, but it was easy breezy kind of thing. And I was going along with it. And I thought, no, if I do this, it's got to be like really serious. But it was a hairdresser's before. It had been a hairdresser's here. It had been a staple in the community for like years and years and years. So I knew if I was going to take over this space, which everyone knew what it had been. Did
people still come wanting to get their hair done?
Yeah, fully. People turn up and they're like, where's the hairdressers? And I'm like, it's not here anymore. But it had been closed for a year, sadly. Okay. So I knew, I needed to turn it around quickly because, we were still paying bills on all of our hall hire. People were waiting for us to open the doors. So we turned it from a hairdresser's to a dance studio in 4.5 weeks. Literally put in like 13, 14-hour days. I still kept the school open in the halls while we did it.
Keep the money rolling in.
Yeah, time has flown since we've been here. I mean, we then went limited. When we got the property, I got married the same year. So it was a busy year.
Busy year.
But it feels like this is my home now. Like, this is a home to so many children as well. And their families. Obviously, we've got the waiting area where everyone sits. And we now have over 300 students.
300?
Yeah.
300 students?
Yeah.
It's impressive, right?
Yeah. I've been able to take on more staff. It was just me before. We had a few class assistants, but now I have 5 other fantastic teachers.
5?
Yeah.
Wow,
they are incredible. I mean,
who's the best dancer?
Me. No. Most recently, one of my teachers, Kane, just danced with Harry Styles at the Brit Awards.
Oh, wow.
His are like local celeb in this studio.
Oh, Harry Styles?
Yeah.
Oh. Who's the most famous person you've danced with?
No one.
No one?
No one. I went straight to the teaching route. I never wanted to perform. I grew up with my brother dancing as well. He was definitely the performer. He has done English National Ballet. He's performed at the Royal Variety, all things like that. So he was the performer. I started assisting at 12, and I just knew that was the space where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in the studio.
Are you a local girl?
Yeah.
You're local.
Yeah,
You're
I've been in Cheshunt my whole life.
You're a Cheshunt girl, are you? Okay.
Girl,
Okay.
I've never left. I never wanted to leave. You know, I grew up dancing at the same fates that I now take our children to now.
Wow.
Dancing at the Spotlight, where we now put on our own shows and things like that. So it very much kind of feels like full circle for me. Like kind of being able to give those children the experiences that I loved doing growing up just kind of feels...
I want to dig a little deeper. Let's take a seat. How did you start? What was it? You left school?
I didn't finish my A-levels.
You didn't finish
I
A-levels?
didn't finish my A-levels. I was in my first year of sixth form.
I'll let you into a secret. I did really bad at my A-levels too.
I did not enjoy school, but a girl that I'd grown up with dancing, she was a year older than me, and she had gone off to dance teacher training college, and she passed away in a car accident.
Wow.
And I had grown up so inspired by her. She was like one of the big girls that I grew up dancing and watching.
What's her name? What's the girl's name that you know?
Charlotte. And her mum has started an amazing trust. Charlotte's niece now dances here as well, which is fantastic. But I got to that stage where I thought, my mum and dad had always said to me, like, think about plan B, think about plan B, you need to prep for plan B. And I thought, okay, but I want to give plan A a go. And my mum said to me, look, if you can get yourself into college, if you can find a way to pay for it, and you can get yourself into that audition, go for it. So I did. Within 10 days, I got myself a job at Tesco's to kind of earn a wage, auditioned at college. I was using the drama studio at school to choreograph. Yeah. And at 17, I went off to dance teacher training. And I think that really, it opened my eyes in a whole different way to kind of dance and teaching. Obviously, I'd been an assistant, but I'd never really been that person at the front of the class before properly. I loved it. It was hard.
Where was it?
I went to Penny Meekins in Royston. I used to get the train from Cuffley. My mum would drop me there at 6 o'clock in the morning, have my little like trolley bag with everything on. Everyone else would be like builders, labourers in their boots, and I'd be there in my like leg warmers. Okay.
And how long is to become a qualified dance teacher? How long did it?
Well, mine was a little bit longer. Not long into my training, I dislocated my knee. Right. I always tell my students this is why you need to take care of your body, because I was so scared that I was going to get pulled from my exams that I didn't tell anyone that my knee was hurting. So I danced in it for a whole week. And then I ended up, because of that, not being able to dance properly for a whole year. Within that time, because of things that had happened with the college, I ended up having to move to a remote college. So then I ended up going to DNA in Waltham Abbey. So I was doing part-time so that I could teach. Ended up continuing to do that into my 20s because I was having to pay for it myself. So proud of my qualifications. Like it was hard. I'm not a natural dancer, and this is what I say to people.
You're not a natural dancer.
Like, I'm not a natural dancer in the slightest. I had to work so hard to be good at dancing. Part of that, I think, is why we are as a school this way, because I can see in those children, you know, you're not finding it easy, but I never did either. But I always say that passion always beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Well, dare I say, Lucy, you're quite young, right?
Yeah, I am.
So I'd imagine a normal, if you know, my assumption would have been that you were dancing to a very high standard, maybe didn't quite make it and you thought, oh, like footballers, I want to be a footballer, doesn't work, plan B, I'll do football coaching.
No.
But that wasn't your route.
No. I was always inspired by choreographers. So when I grew up kind of watching X Factor, things like that, Brian Friedman was the choreographer on X Factor, and I just wanted to be him.
Yeah, he was always...
I was obsessed. And choreography and things like that was what I loved about dancing, kind of creating different concepts. And I loved going into a room and a child couldn't do something, and then with my help, they could do it. I was like, that's incredible, that's amazing. And there's this beautiful part of dancing that kind of the passion brings everyone together, and that was what I loved about it. So it was never kind of, oh, I really want to go and I want to be a dancer, I want to be a performer, I want to be in the West End, any of that. I always wanted to teach, always, yeah.
So I noticed as we were coming in, it says there 3-year-olds to adults.
Yeah.
So what's to do with adults?
We do an adult tap class. My mum actually comes to our adult tap class.
When's that?
Monday evenings.
In case there's anyone, Monday nights, tap class.
7:15 till 8, and we have such a laugh.
Okay.
We really do. I've got people that tap when they were younger. I've got people that had never tapped before.
Do you tap dance or do you drink wine?
We do tap dance.
You do tap
we
dance.
do tap dance.
Okay.
We do go for our little Christmas do and have a drink or two.
Okay.
But no, and they're performing for me next month. Yeah, we've got men in there as well. They love it.
So how many are in that group on a Monday night?
So there's about 12 of them in
12.
there. So it's nice and loud at 8 o'clock on a Monday evening.
And how many adult classes? Is that the?
That's the only.
That is the only.
Except for our, so that is our older adult class. So I'd say that the average age in there is around 40.
Okay.
Whereas we do also have our hip hop class, which is.
Oh, you said older adults.
Slightly
and then
older adults.
Average age 40.
Slightly older adults. But
Okay.
then we've got our younger adult class, which is our teens up to our maybe late 20s, which is our hip hop class. But that is an advanced hip hop class. So it's more for people that did dance when they were younger, kind of want something that's a little bit of a challenge. There's some girls that I grew up dancing with that come along to that class. So yeah, it's nice.
They pay, I hope.
No.
They don't pay?
No.
Don't-
Once dance family, always dance family.
Don't record that, Beth. People think that you just come along for freebies here.
If I won the lottery, everyone could come for free.
Okay. And what? When is that one? When's the hip hop?
That's on a Tuesday, 8 till 9 o'clock. I join in most of the time as well. It is an incredible class.
So you do long hours, right? You've mentioned there 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night.
Most evenings I'm here between 8 and 9 o'clock.
But like we're here today.
Yeah.
During the day.
Yeah. So.
Is it quieter during the day apart from holidays?
It is, yeah. So obviously because the children are at school during this time, but then we hire out to people like Cheryl. Cheryl owns a Pilates company and she hires our hall during the week. And then on a Wednesday we have our tiny dots in. So they're our 18-month plus and they come in with their adults.
Okay.
And that's absolutely gorgeous on a Wednesday morning. But we need this time so that it can be cleaned, so that admin can be done, things like that, because once those kids arrive after school, nothing else is getting done except for attention being on them.
All right. Well, before we carry on,
yeah.
Why don't you show off this impressive space?
Yeah.
We spoke about a studio. Let's see what you've got. Show us around.
Yeah, so obviously this is our waiting area. This is where you'll find all of our parents chatting. We've got our little children's corner.
Is this where they all sit down, have their tea and coffee or whatever?
Yeah, always parents giggling. We can always hear them from the studio, which is lovely.
Is that off-putting?
No, I love it. No,
for the kids dancing.
I think they're used to it by now.
It's
their own parents; they can hear them at home. If I'm not in the studio, you'll find me behind the desk, doing lots of admin. And then this is my favourite space. Obviously,
this is your favourite space, yeah.
So,
where the magic happens.
Yeah, all of the classes happen in here.
Okay.
It did not look like this when we started, and last year we had, so this is a proper dance floor, we had this installed from Lee Mark. So this is fantastic dance flooring.
Yeah.
A few scratches on there from our tap shoes, but it's well loved.
Shows it's being used.
Yeah.
If it was pristine, I'd worry that it's not being used.
And obviously we've got our beautiful mirrors. We never had mirrors when we were hiring halls because they just didn't have any. Well, the church had two, but they were very warped, so no one wanted to look in them. So it's really important for me when we set up the studio that we had mirrors. It's so important for corrections, children being able to see themselves, me being able to see them. And mean, there's probably about 1,000 fingerprint marks on there because our little ones, they like to kiss themselves in the mirror.
Oh, do they?
Like that. They
Okay.
do, yeah. A lot of love in the studio. We also have over here our 2 little mascots. We've got our Disney Mickeys still from when we went to Disney, but we have Buddy and we have Rainbow Bear. So if
We'll come on to that story
yeah.
because I saw that and obviously
Yeah.
we're involved as part of that, but we'll go on to that
so
in a bit. So this is where and how many kids would you typically have?
we take up to 20 in a class.
In a class, okay.
But when we do our performance events, we normally take up to about 35.
I was going to say, there was more than 20 that day when I came.
Yeah, there was a lot more. There were 38 the day that you came.
Okay.
But we try and make it comfortable. I mean, our little ones class will only take up to 6 because they bring their adult in with them as well. We have props. We want to make sure it's comfortable.
Yeah.
But the average size class is about 15 to 20 students.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And then through to your...
coming through the less show busy stuff. So we've recently started to put up some photos from all of our performances that we've been doing over the years, and it makes me realise how long we've been going actually when we see how much we've done. We've got a few over here as well. And these photos were from our first ever Fate. So this was the first time we ever performed. And lots of people don't believe that that's me, but it is. So I was just about to turn 21 in that photo.
Who are you with there?
That's my brother.
That's your brother,
Yeah.
who is?
He doesn't dance anymore, but he went to performing arts boarding school.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the talented one of the family.
Okay.
For sure, yeah.
I'm sure you're talented, Lucy. You're doing
get
yourself
there,
the service there.
No, we get there, but this is a dance family, but I could not have done this without my family. They are like so supportive. They're at every event we do. I just count on them for everything. I mean, my dad was here every day putting the studio together with me.
Okay.
Absolutely incredible. We keep all of our uniform on display over here as well. The kids get so excited to get their blue top for the first time.
The merchandise, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they can get their name put on the back as well. And I just find that when we do events and things like that, the blue just stands out.
Yeah.
So people go out and they'll text me, I've just seen 4 of your dancers, because they just know. You go out in this top and you just know it's one of us.
Okay.
So especially when we did go to Disney, it was hard to miss.
Why did you pick blue?
All of us. I chose blue because I noticed how my brother's dance experience was different to mine growing up because he was a boy. I like to think that times are changing now. Sometimes people's opinions are different, but people just thought that because he was a boy, he shouldn't be dancing. And so I wanted to create a blue logo, make sure it was blue, not pink and stereotypical what people think of a ballet studio, because we're not just a ballet studio. And my first ever student was a boy. And I just find that it just makes us so inclusive having the blue. And not many people pick blue for a dance school, so a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah, and it kind of loops us back round again.
Back round, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice, impressive space.
Thank you.
The changing rooms?
Yeah, we've got our changing rooms.
Staff only?
My office, there's more of a storage cupboard than an office nowadays.
So tell us a little bit how you went from 4 to 300. How have you...
I don't know.
How's that grown? Is it advertising? Is it word of mouth?
Word of mouth has always been. Even now, it's parents that stand at the school gate and they go, oh my goodness, my little one's started at LMA. And they say, like, our parents here say the most wonderful things about us. They help create such an amazing atmosphere here. But word of mouth, it's people saying, oh, I told my neighbour about you, or, oh, when I was out, someone asked where you are. And the parents that are here are the biggest advocate for us. They go out and they tell everyone. Obviously, we take part in a lot of performances. Things like that drum up a lot of visibility for us.
So is that like local fairs and...
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we're on the high street. Yeah. How many activity providers are out there on the high street? And, you know, we've got that big blue sign out the front. It's difficult to miss. So I think especially when we got the studio, when that blue sign went up, a lot of eyes were turning. There was actually temporary traffic lights outside while we were setting up. And so people were stopping there looking over.
Yeah.
And it is things like that, you know, we get a lot of walking traffic here. We're very, very fortunate. You know, people just pop in and they talk to us and it gets us started. Yeah.
Okay. What gives you the buzz about these kids? They come here, I imagine all sorts of different types of kids you've got from all different ethnic backgrounds, no doubt. You've got boys, girls, you've got some are confident, no doubt, some are shy, some
Yeah, we have a lot of children who, you know, are neurodiverse. A lot of children who even still now, because of the effects of COVID, are struggling with separation from their parents, or, you know, they've just had a sibling, so they're struggling with having a new baby at home. Like, we see children of all different kinds, you know, they have struggling at school all the time. Every single class, we use differentiation. So you're teaching one thing in 5 different ways to cover all of the children in that class.
What gives you the buzz?
That. Because how incredible that you can bring children together from all different backgrounds, all different lifestyles, just because they love to dance. And they come together and they do something they love, and they find that common ground because they love to dance, and they grow together, and then they become more understanding people because they are being around people that are different to them and things like that. And, you know, they're going out into the world being a kinder person, a more understanding person.
And come on, it's a fun thing, like dancing, like, you know, even me after a few drinks on a night out.
That's the thing, is who dances and feels less happy afterwards? No one. Everyone loves a boogie.
It's all right, you're sitting there teaching accountancy. Sorry to all the accountants listening. But, you know, I studied accountancy. That's my disclaimer. I studied accountancy at a stage. Recently, you did quite a big thing, right?
I did, yeah.
Let's talk about that a bit.
We went to Disneyland Paris and performed in the park. 38 dancers.
How did that come about?
So I knew it was a thing. So there are companies out there that who organise performances at these kind of amazing places. And I'd kind of got in touch with some before, and it can be really expensive. And obviously, because we are all inclusive, it's one of those where I didn't ever want to put something that's really expensive out there and then eliminate lots of children because it's just simply not affordable. But I have 3 parents who had started doing a little bit of fundraising for us beforehand to help some of our students with costumes and things like that. And I knew that we could kind of do some fundraising for it to help those lower income families. So I got in touch with the company and they sent me some prices, and actually they were a lot more reasonable than I expected. And I thought, well, let me put the feelers out there. We had to audition, so I had to get a group together quickly. And I said, oh, I'll only take up to 30. 38 children later, because I can't learn to say no. 38 children later, with 7 on a waiting list, we auditioned. And then they came back and said, oh no, we need another routine from you. I was like, oh gosh, then we had to come back together again. And it was during the summer last year, it was boiling. And we did 4 hours where they just learn a whole routine within 4 hours. And we sent it off. Then they told me it'd be 2 to 3 weeks to find out if we'd get in. 10 days later, I got an email while I was at the gym. And then she rang me as well, the lady from Take Us to the Magic, to let me know that we'd got in.
Where were you, at the gym?
I was at the gym.
Don't you do enough?
At the gym.
Don't you do enough jumping up and down in that studio?
If I'm going to keep up with these kids, I've got to be at the gym as well. And I was just stood there by myself and I thought, no one around me knows this amazing phone conversation I've just had. And I thought, how am I going to tell these kids in the most amazing way? I didn't want them to just find out. So I told them that we were doing a fundraiser at the pub, at the pub at the end, the Old English Gentleman. I went in and spoke to them, told them what was going on. I told a couple of our parents so they could help me. And I said, oh yeah, we're going to do our audition routine. We're going to try and drum up some money. And I was being really blasé about it. And I'd bought a balloon that said, "We're going to Disney." I'd got it from one of the local shops at a party.
Yeah.
And they started dancing, and I stopped the music. And everyone was looking at me, and I was like, "I'm really sorry, I've lied to you all." And they were looking at me like, "What?" And then I told them that we'd got into Disney. It chokes me up a little bit now.
Wow.
But then all the kids were like, "We want to do the dance, like that's what we're here for." So then they all ended up dancing, all the parents were cheering.
Yeah.
One of the dads went and bought all the kids some drinks. Like
Wow.
it was just, we stayed there for hours. We were all just dancing. And that was in the summer. And then September, rehearsals started. So we did 2 hours every Sunday from September until February.
Okay.
Every Sunday, apart from over Christmas, we were here. They worked so hard. It was a 20-minute routine that they had to put together. So we did 5 songs back to back. I mean, the youngest that took part were 5. So that's a lot for a 5-year-old to take
Yeah, I
on.
was going to say, because we came and saw the final audition.
Yeah.
And some of them were like Diddy.
Tiny.
Some of them look really small, and I was like,
Tiny.
oh, they look like
Yeah.
that. But you know what? They were all smiling. They were all.
they weren't the whole time.
No, but they all seemed quite.
They bonded so much as a group, and that's part of what I love about doing these performance things. Is how often do you get a 17-year-old and a 5-year-old who don't know each other in the same space, bonding, and that's what dance does. It brought them together. And even when we got to Disney, when they would see each other, like they'd be running up to each other, they were going on rides together. I'd turn around, my husband was gone, like, because he's going on rides with whoever. Like the most, they were an incredible group. I mean, that is the biggest thing we've ever done. We will do it again. There's no way we can't.
It's forming friendships as well, right, for a lot of them. Because so there's kids from different schools.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, if I was, I'm looking at this from a, older cousin, older sibling, you look out for the younger ones.
Yeah, that is
you
what
feel
it's
like. So if you're 16 and there's a little 6-year-old there, you almost...
Oh, I'd give them a break halfway through the rehearsal, and I'm like, right, sit down, chill, have your water, things like that. I'd come out, I'd go back in, and they're like swinging each other around, piggybacks, cartwheels, like they couldn't help but kind of just be kids together. Incredible. I mean, lifelong memories for all of us, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. So as well as a studio, which phenomenal, by the way, to go from like something like 4 students to 300. Yeah. What does the future for LMA look like? What have you reached your goal? Is there more goals to reach?
Does anyone ever when you're a business owner?
Okay. So what does next chapter look like possibly?
I try and give myself every year. I give myself like a New Year's resolution, and it has been expanding our team, so that our young dancers get as many different types of teacher, different types of knowledge as possible. Eventually, I do want to open a second studio, so that we can double up on the amount of classes.
Okay.
That's more a 5 to 10 year goal. My really close goal at the minute, I'm up for a business award.
Okay.
I'm up for Young Entrepreneur of the Year.
Wow.
It's a national award. So that is next
Who
month.
votes?
It's not voting, it's a judging panel.
Okay.
And for me, this is my last year I can go for Young Entrepreneur.
So last year you can go for the young, okay.
It's 30 and under, and I'm 30 next April.
Okay.
So I feel like, I've spent my whole 20s being a young entrepreneur. There's not a moment in my 20s where I haven't. So
you've done amazing.
I feel like that'd be a beautiful way to kind of be like, yeah, well done 20-year-old Lucy, and kind of get ready for what 30-year-old Lucy has to bring to LMA. I mean, more amazing performances. We've got parents that want us to go off to America and things like that, which I would love. I just want to kind of...
So you've done Euro Disney, now for the Disney, yeah?
I mean, why not? I think I've got to that stage where, like, I always thought, oh, well, maybe I can't do that. And it's like, well, do you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Because all these things, including this space, like, were once something I wish I had and thought, oh, wouldn't that be amazing? And we've managed to do it. And there's not really anything that we've kind of tried to do that, not saying it's been easy, but we haven't managed to achieve through hard work. So I just think there is no end goal. We just keep going.
So your 5 members of staff, full time, are they come and go, or are they sort of?
So
they're not
within this industry, teachers are self-employed.
Freelancing.
They need to be able to work at multiple schools to be able to earn a decent wage. We try really hard to give them a really good hourly rate here. You know, they're amazing teachers. They're so highly skilled.
Well, one of them's danced with Harry Styles.
Yeah, and I mean, when he came back, the kids were like, "Why isn't Harry with you?" And you know, I've got staff who they'll teach me on a Wednesday, and then Saturday they're performing at the O2. Wow. So you know, they are turning their hand to everything, and you know, it is that kind of lifestyle for a lot of our teachers are performers, and so you know, they're teaching so that you know, when they do go to auditions and things like that, they can still afford to live, but they're gaining so many things and passing so much on to our students throughout that time. It's not an easy life being a dancer, but they do it very well. And on top of all that busyness, like, you know, you've got your commitments here. You're quite active with Love Chesant. I am, yeah.
Where do you find time for that?
I don't. Truthfully, most of the time I am voice noting Helen silly times, and I have to apologise to her because she's got children.
And that's Helen from Dobson's.
That's Helen from Dobson's. She's an incredible businesswoman, someone that I really aspire to. But I've been working with her for a little while now. And for me, obviously, LMA is community. So being part of something like Love Chesant is so important to what our morals and what our ethos is. So I found it really important to do. I kind of throw in bits here and there, just as and when I can. I've been out doing bits this morning, ready for our Easter trails. I try really hard to find the time. I work 7 days a week so during term time, I'm here every single day. And then half terms are a bit quieter for me. But normally half terms is when Love Chesant's events are on, things like that. So for me, it's really workable. I mean, I don't have children right now, so I can just kind of come and go and do as I please in a way. And, you know, it's given a lot of our dancers opportunities to perform at events and things like that. So it's really worth it, I think.
I have a feeling if you had children, they might be dancers.
I hope so. I'd love that.
So, yeah.
That'd be great.
All right. Look, as we draw to an end here, Lucy, just one sort of, well, a couple of final things, actually. If someone wanted to join, what do they do? How do they go about joining?
So we offer free trials for all of our classes. And our free trials for next term are already up. So everything can be done on our website, lmastudios.com. Just book your free trial. You come along. We have a welcome leaflet for you that explains all of the next steps. You get to go in and join in for the class for free, and then we even give you a week to decide if you want the space as well.
Is that for the adults with the tap dancing too?
That is for the adults with the tap dancing too.
And if they really fancy themselves as having some moves and cutting shapes, they can try the Tuesday night one.
They can try hip hop too.
They can try hip hop too. Okay, what's the 3 biggest tips you can give someone if they wanted to aspire to have their own business and to, you know, create something as fantastic as you have? What's the 3 biggest tips?
I get asked this a lot because I often go into our secondary schools and do their career days, and I'll speak to them about being a business owner. The first one sounds the most silly, but it's start, because you learn along the way. There is no way you can learn everything you need to know about business before starting. The things I know now that I wish I could tell myself at 20, and I'm sure in 10 years' time, I'll say the same again to me now. Start, because you will learn along the way. But also, you need to be adaptable. Don't be kind of one track minded, but I must do this and I must do that, because business is not straightforward. It's never going to go just in one straight line. Oh yes, and it's going to continue to build all of the time. Be adaptable, you know, listen to feedback, because There are so many people out there that have so much knowledge. Talk to them, gain their knowledge, because they're going to benefit you. And I think probably the third one is just keep going. If you love what you do and that you want to make that your job, keep going, because you haven't failed until you stop. Keep going. I remember the first time I made money, I made £15. You would have thought I was a millionaire. You would have.
What did you do with it?
Kept it in the tin as change.
Kept it in the tin.
I kept it in the tin as change. But I was so proud, and it had taken me a long time to get to that stage. I think people just think, oh, you start a business, you make a lot of money, and it's not the case. You have to work so hard for it. But if you do, it's so worth it. Yeah, I'd say, but enjoy it. Got to enjoy it.
You've done a great job. Thank you for your time today, Lucy.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that.
Coming in.